Disclaimer: this audio story is an unofficial fan-made parody inspired by Bob's Burgers. It is not affiliated with, endorsed by, or sponsored by Fox, Disney, or the creators of Bob's Burgers. All characters and settings are portrayed in a transformative and fictional context. The story you're about to hear is an unofficial fan-made work inspired by Bob's Burgers. It is not endorsed by the network or creators. This is a dark, fictional reimagining created for fun, not profit. Bob's Burgers, Tina's Cannibal Diaries, Season 1. The Fog, Entry 3. Dear Cannibal Diary. Gray morning again. The kind that pretends to be day and almost pulls it off. The neon over our window hums like a sleepy bug. Dad is already at the grill. The first patties hit hot metal and the hiss sounds like a snake that forgot what it was doing. People in the line lean forward with their eyes closed. Linda warms up her voice. Jean tests a saucepan with 2 wooden spoons. Louise sharpens a knife and glares at the fog like it owes her money. I'm going out. Scavenge run. No raiders today, if we are lucky. The fog is the only enemy. I prefer my enemies simple. They smother instead of stab. Mort has the checklist. Mort taps it with a pencil stub. Batteries, wire, towels, paper, soap flakes, vinegar, first aid. Anything that makes life easier. And dead bodies if the fog did its thing. He does not say that part out loud. He does not have to. Teddy straps on the battery frame. It is a metal backpack that looks like a tiny prison. He pats the bars like they are a pet. For Bob, he says, for the grill. He kisses his gloved knuckles and taps the frame. He checks the dolly tires. He checks the handholds. He checks the tape on his palms. Teddy likes to be sure. The fog likes to make sure you are not. Regular-size Rudy shows up at the door with his scarf pulled up and his inhaler on a string. He is older now, less round, more angles. He still wheezes sometimes, but his eyes are steady, and his hands move like he practiced being useful. I think about how cute he is, and then I file the thought in the drawer labeled Do Not Touch. Louise likes him. She plays it cool, which means she would kill me. He smiles at me. I smile and look at his scarf instead of his mouth. I can survive hunger. I do not know if I can survive a sister. Family fun time, Louise says from the door. She points her knife like a baton, like she is in charge. The laser tag maze has wire, prize counter has paper, party room has tablecloths. You know the drill. I take the ledger. I tuck mints into my pocket. I tie the whistle around my neck. The rope harness hugs my ribs. Louise yanks on it to be sure. She glances at Rudy. She glances at me. Her eyebrow moves a millimeter. That is a whole speech in Louise. Be back by lamp change, she says. If you are not, we assume the fog took you. Linda blows me a kiss and then sends a second one for luck. Dad looks up from the grill. He does not smile with his mouth, but his eyes make a line that means he sees me, and he sees me coming back. He salts a patty like prayer beads. We step into the hallway of fog that used to be a street. Rope stretched between buildings, lamplight like pale coins. The mail bell rings somewhere. The carrier is a ghost with a bag. The fog is a coat we all share and nobody likes the color. We move as a clump. Teddy first with the dolly and the battery frame, Mort second with the list and the coil of rope. Me third with the ledger and the whistle. Rudy last because he is fast with his eyes and because he can turn and see the thin things that move when you do not look. He taps my shoulder once to say hello. I pretend it is an accident. It is not. Pesto's is across the street. Their window is fogged inside as well as out. Jimmy Jr. does a warm-up spin under the sign to keep his legs awake. He catches my eye and gives a small wave like he is not waving. I give a small wave back like I am not waving. His butt is perfect. I inventory it in my mind and put it back on the shelf. We pass the window. The fog erases the reflection of me and keeps his for a second longer, which is rude. The family fun time building has shut down for a while. The letters on the door are chipped. Family fun time. The T has slid down and now says, FIME. The mascots on the glass still smile, but the fog has pulled their cheeks off a little. The lock is broken. Everyone's lock is broken. We wedge the door and slip through the stick of it. Inside, the air smells like old gum. The fog has seeped in and made everything smell underwater. The ticket counter is a shipwreck. A jar of loose tokens sits where someone forgot their plan. The prize wall is a museum of things that do not matter. Plastic flutes, sticky hands, bouncy balls. One of those hoop games that mocks you with physics. A giant bear that would have eaten a child even before food got political. Wire first, Mort whispers. He taps a wall. The conduits are fat with promises. Then towels. Then paper. Battery if we find one. He crosses off nothing. He crosses off future hope. Teddy is already peeling cable like vines off a fake rainforest wall. His big hands are careful. He hates breaking the world, but he loves giving it to Bob. He hums a little line from one of Linda's hymns. He packs copper into the dolly. He takes speaker magnets and a fuse box and a lamp head with a cracked shade. Rudy moves in small, quick lines. He flips the prize counter. He shakes a drawer and finds a roll of paper towels wrapped in plastic. He holds it up like a sunrise nobody asked for. We all breathe in, which is stupid for fog lungs, but we do it anyway. He ties the roll to his belt. He grabs a stack of napkins. He finds 3 unopened sets of birthday plates with confetti patterns. He hands them to me. Decoration is morale, he says. His voice is deeper than it used to be. The same words sit in it with more weight. Morale is decoration, I say back, and he smiles. I put the plates in my bag. The fog licks the bag. I do not. We move through the arcade like divers. The games are silent. The floor has sticky spots that have turned into long slicks of sweet rot. The laser tag door is half open. Inside, mirrors make us into strangers. The fog eats light and then spits it back out wrong. Our lamps carve tunnels in the black. The plastic maze walls lean. There are 1,000 places to hide and nobody hiding, which is worse. Do not get clever, Mort says. He says that to himself. He collects a nest of cables from the laser tower and coils them clean. He finds a first aid box under the counter. It has 2 alcohol pads, a bandage, and a whistle that is almost like mine, but yellow, like an old tooth. He gives the pads to Rudy for his inhaler case. He gives the bandage to me. I put it in the ledger, between names, like a promise. We pass the party rooms. The windows are white-screened with fog and birthday messages. Happy day, 10. Love you. The balloons on the wall are dead skins. The long tables still wear their plastic cloths. We take those. They fold into tidy squares and do everything. Tie, cover, wrap, shield, mask, bandage, pretend. Rudy pockets a bag of forks. He holds up a glitter banner that says, "You did it." He looks at me. I nod. We keep it. You never know when you will need to tell someone they did it. The stage is at the far end of the hall. The curtain is closed. The fog is thicker here. It curls at the floor like a living thing and then creeps up the velvet until the cloth drinks it. There is a light on behind the curtain. It is a stubborn bulb that refuses to join the void. We pull the curtain back. The light gives us a polite little dim. A security guard sits in a folding chair center stage. He leans to one side with his head tilted like he is listening to a joke he did not understand. His hat is in his lap. The fog has pressed a gray kiss under his nose. 3 kids lie on the floor by the footlights. Party hats on. shoes still tied. One has a prize snake around his neck. One has a hand on the stage edge like he tried to stand and then decided no. The last one has their eyes open. They look like they are watching the place where ceiling meets wall. There is nothing to see there. Fog poisoning, Mort says. His voice is very small. He kneels and checks each wrist even though he knows. He gives them names for now. Guard, girl in green, boy with snake, last watcher. He tells me to write that until we find better. He puts his hand on the guard's shoulder. He kept the light on, Mort says to the room, because saying it to people hurts more. Rudy makes a sound behind his scarf. He pulls the scarf down and inhales, and then coughs, and presses the inhaler to his mouth. He breathes. The sound is a little like the mail bell. Life checks in. He looks at me like he is asking permission to be sad. I nod. Permission granted. He puts the scarf back up and ties it tighter. Teddy looks at the stage floor like it is holy and wrong at the same time. He rubs his face with his wrist. He looks at the ceiling and blinks on purpose. He squares his shoulders. He looks at me. For Bob, he says, but it does not sound like a chant. It sounds like an apology. For Bob, I say. It sounds like a promise I did not make, but will keep. We move quiet. We pull down the glitter banner and use it to wrap the girl in green. We use the tablecloths for the others. We work like we practiced. Mort ties knots that do not slip. Teddy lifts with his legs and makes a small noise when he is halfway up and makes no noise when he is all the way. Rudy secures the dolly straps and does not look at hands. I hold the light and the ledger. The light shakes more than I want. We take their pockets kindly. Not to steal, to identify. A stamp card from a corner bodega with 3 stars. A library slip with a due date that will never come. A drawing of a dog with a crown. I put the paper in a plastic sleeve. I write as much as I can. Security guard, badge 174. Girl in green, bracelet with hearts. Boy with snake, shoelace double knotted. Last watcher, picture of a dog named Prince. I put the picture in the ledger so the dog will be with us while we walk. Mort switches off the stage light. He does it slowly so the room does not think we are angry with it. The fog settles a little, like a face after a cry. We load the dolly with cables, the wire box, speaker guts, the roll of paper towels, the napkins, the tablecloths, the forks, the You Did It banner, the first aid scraps, and a battery we found under the skee-ball lane. It is small, but stubborn. Mort tapped it, and it answered. It will power something. Maybe a lamp over the grill that makes the meat look like hope instead of evidence. The bodies go on the sled. We use the banner ties to keep them neat because neat is respect. Teddy takes the sled rope. Rudy takes the dolly. Mort walks the side with the list. I take point with the rope to the door and the whistle between my teeth, in case the fog decides to be creative. Family fun time lets us go like it is bored with our company. The door breathes us out into the hallway that pretends to be a street. The fog here is thicker. It is the kind that tastes like a lick of a 9-volt battery. Do not lick batteries. This is science and a dare. We move slow, rope line to rope line, lamplight to lamplight. The mail bell is far now. The lamplighter poles scrape like chalk. The world is a tunnel with a hiss inside it. The fog does tricks. A cough sounds like a crowd. A clink of metal sounds like water. Your own breath becomes a person who is following you. We keep the whistle in the rhythm we learned. 1 short to say turn. 2 short to say stop. 3 short only if the world is ending. Nobody blows 3 unless Louise is there. She would break the rules and then beat you for making her do it. We pass the park fence on the long way back. The pond is a dark plate under a black lid. No bubbles. That is almost worse. The swings are still. A poster on the fence says, fog advisory, and then runs down the page, in long tears. Mort reads the part that did not melt. It says, "Do not exert yourself." It says, "Avoid low places." It says, "Drink water." Rudy sees a shape on the bench by the gate and goes soft at the knees. It is a pile of coats. Just coats. We take buttons. Buttons fix things you do not want to throw away. We leave the coats for someone who cannot fix anything except cold. Teddy grunts like a stove. The battery frame clanks when he breathes. He is a nice mountain. He keeps the sled moving in a line. He whispers to the bodies. He tells them about the grill. He tells them about pickles. He tells them about how Bob salts the edge of the patty and not just the middle. He says it like bedtime. If the fog could sleep, it would. Mort does math out loud so he does not think of anything else. Distance to lamp change, estimated oxygen in this alley versus the next, load weight in pounds, number of steps to the block with the broken mailbox that looks like a face. He says it calm. He feeds our brains little numbers like mints. I write while we walk. It is messy. My handwriting hates ropes. The ledger tugs back like it is tired of being a table. I press the page with my thumb and add new lines. Security guard, 174. Girl in green, bracelet. Boy with snake, last watcher. The date is the same date it has been for 5 years. The day the fog moved in never ended. I draw a tiny star next to the line that says we found the paper towels. I draw a heart next to the battery. I draw a butt next to nothing for no reason at all. I close the book. We reach our block. The neon looks warmer than usual. That is not true. It is exactly the same. Warm is a decision. Linda's voice comes through the door in a murmur. It is the sound she makes when she is singing to a pan and not to a crowd. The line outside the restaurant parts when they see the sled. Not because of horror, because of respect. People bow their heads for a second. Then they count silently. Then they peek at the dolly. Louise opens the door with 2 fingers like it is a trick, and she knows how to do it better than you. She looks at the sled. She looks at Rudy. She looks at me. The eyebrow does its half thing again. She steps aside. "Good haul," she says. She is not happy. She is satisfied, which is better. Gene plays a quiet 2-note welcome on his pan. It sounds like someone saying "come in" without using words because words cost air. Inside, the room is warm and smells like onion and metal and bread. Dad does not turn around when we pass the grill. He waits 1 second, then flips. That is his thank you. He will say the other ones later when the stack is done, and the knife is still, and there is a breath that does not belong to the fog. The basement door is open. The air that comes up is colder and cleaner and meaner. It smells like bleach and conclusion. I do not go down. I carry one end of a tablecloth and hold the edge with both hands the way a person holds a flag. Mort and Teddy take the other ends. The bodies slide toward the dark like the dark asked politely. Rudy holds the dolly by the stairs and takes the paper towels off like they are glass. He hands them to me. Our fingers touch for a second. The fog is not here. His eyes are very brown. He says, "Good find," like it is a secret. I put the roll on the shelf by the register. Mort and Teddy go below. I write on the top step. The ledger balances on my knee. My knee shakes exactly once. The line moves. The room breathes. Linda hums the song about standing still while the world does not. Louise clicks her knife shut. Jean makes a small rim shot for nobody. I inventory the hall for the book. Wire, 3 coils. Speaker guts, 2 good magnets, 1 maybe. Paper towels, 1 roll. Napkins, 37. Plastic cloths, 6. Forks, 22. First aid box, 1 bandage, 2 pads. Banner, you did it. Battery, small. Tokens, a handful that will make good washers if we drill the holes bigger. I draw a frog and give it a smile. I add a line for the drawing of Prince the dog. He is ours now kindly. I tuck the drawing in the drawer with the matches. Mr. Fishoder appears by the door as if the fog wove him. His cane taps. His cape is a curtain with cartoon fish. His smile is something that found a way to be expensive after money died. He says, "I do love a productive morning, Bob." He looks at the sled marks on the floor and clucks his tongue like a metronome that aims to offend people. Louise steps in front of him with her nicest smile that means nothing nice. "You love a lot of things," she says. "Stand behind the tape." There is no tape. He stands behind where tape would be if this was a theater. Dad plates a burger. He slides it to the pass like a secret letter. He plates another. He salts. He keeps the edge of the patty shining. He does not look up. He does not need to. He knows where the people are in the room by how they breathe. Rudy wipes the dolly handles. He sets the wire by the back shelf. He checks the dolly wheels for glass. He is efficient and cute. My heart writes his name under my tongue, and I swallow it like medicine you teach yourself to like. Louise slices 2 thin buns in half and does not cut his fingers. This is flirting in our world. He leaves a fork by her elbow. Mort comes up the stairs with gloves off and hands that he will wash twice. He nods at me. His nod means he did his job. It also means the names are safe in a different way now. I add a line that says, "Returned." It is my personal code. Return to what is not my problem to solve today. Teddy comes up behind him with his cheeks wet and a smile anyway, because he is a 2-weather system person. He pats the battery frame and unclips one side and sets it near the plug we save for miracles. We sort. We wipe. We fold. We breathe. Nobody attacks. No one tries the back door. The fog stays outside and thinks about us without moving in. It is the best version of a day. I open the ledger one more time to read the lines, the names we made, the battery, the towels, the banner. The tiny heart I drew for no reason I can argue. The page smells like onion and pencil and plastic. I leave it open so the room can see itself as a list and not a blur. The lamps flicker from gray day to almost night. The lamplighter bell is closer now. He has a new helper by the sound of the feet. The line outside thickens in a careful way. People are good at waiting when waiting is the only thing you can do, and the thing that proves you are alive. Linda starts a hymn about Greece as a miracle. Jean sets a beat that makes it feel like marching even though everyone is standing still. Louise clacks a tong once and the room freezes and then resumes at a better angle. Dad salts. The spatula is a metronome that nobody hates. And then I hear it. Not a cough. Not a clink. Not the lamplighter. Not the mail bell. Not the hum of neon. It is far away and very loud at the same time. Screams like a train engine, long and high. Not one voice. Many. It stretches across the street and climbs the side of our building and sits on the roof and waits. It is coming toward us. It is not a raid. Raids are quiet until they aren't. It is not organized. It is hunger with lungs. I close the ledger. Something is coming, I say. The room stops for a half breath. Louise slides the bolt on the back door. Jean puts the pans down like they are eggs he does not want to break. Linda draws in air for a note she will not sing until she has to. Dad salts the patty in his hand and holds still, spatula raised, like a picture of a saint. The train engine thunder gets bigger, and the fog carries it like a parade carries a float, and I taste the pennies in the back of my throat again. Dear Cannibal Diary, I do not know what it is, but it is loud and it is coming, and we are ready in the only ways that count.